Hi, everybody. Welcome in. This is Stick and Hack Reacts, and this is Stick and Hack on Air on the 8 Side Network, presented by iHeartRadio. I'm Adam Grubb from Stick and Hack, and that is Keith Stewart from ESPN Radio and Read the Line. But specifically this week, he is Keith Stewart from the PGA, a PGA pro, and coming up, well, it appears here on video that you are still in Tulsa for the PGA Championship, the second major of the year. Keith, first of all, good afternoon to you. Happy Monday. What'd you do this weekend?
I've been in Tulsa for the last 8 days or 7 days, Adam, covering the 104th PGA Championship. So right. I had a good weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Guess where I was, Keith? Guess what I was doing? Guess what I was involved in?
Volleyball.
Yes, sir. So I did happen to catch, however, some of it over the weekend. And what was shocking to me, and I think to most golf fans, the roller coaster that was Championship Sunday, starting from 2 o'clock, who was leading throughout the day, the roller coaster, but really the roller coaster throughout the weekend. And this entire tournament, there was never a clear favorite, never a clear winner. There was never anybody that was just rocking and rolling. You had Tiger making the cut, withdrawing. You had all of the storylines that were happening with Rory and some of these others that and big names. JT lurking, and then you had Mito Pereira, who was coming into Sunday as the leader, teed off at 2:35, and by 5:35, 6:35, his world collapsing in front of him. For those that did not see the 18th tee, first of all, your reaction, Keith, to the PGA Championship as a whole this year, and then we'll get into the specifics. So give me your reaction, overarching of the PGA Championship. That's wishful thinking.
Well,
I think.
You got a lot on your plate, Adam. So I'll tell you what. I'll start talking. All right. Two thumbs up. You. 2 thumbs up. I mean, the whole team at Southern Hills Country Club, of course, the whole team at the PGA of America, who I was a part of this week, working for on the digital side. Just tremendous, tremendous work putting together this championship, because I love the way you put it. And I'll react to this more so, is that you use the term roller coaster. And it couldn't have been more of a roller coaster. Even till the last swing on 18 by Mito Pereira. I mean, it almost looked like he got electrocuted when he hit the ball. It was kind of scary. For those of us that teach for a living, we know what that move is. And Mito, I hope you can get past that at some point, because, whew, man, oh man, it didn't look pretty, that's for sure. But let's go back to the beginning of the week. The roller coaster. There were so many different ones, Adam. How about the weather? Okay? It started out, it was like 90 degrees, and then all of a sudden the wind kicked up. And it turned into like a convection oven. I mean, it was so hot and it was so windy. And we had Tiger Woods on the property. And then Tiger makes one of his classic cut line charges on Friday, and everybody's freaking out. The whole place, you could hear little eruptions all over the golf course. I mean, you want to talk about a roller coaster of emotion. Tiger won't make the cut. Oh, here he comes on the back 9 on Friday. He's going to make the cut. And then we roll into Saturday morning, and it's freezing cold. It was 30 degrees colder on Saturday than it was on Friday after the front moved in over Friday night. And then we get to Sunday morning. We've got 2 roommates from Wake Forest playing together. We've got a bunch of names at the top that have never won a PGA Tour event, let alone a major championship. And that hasn't happened in a while. You know, Danny Willett was the last one to do it, which was 2016. So in 6 years, you know, no one's made their first win a major win. There was all these storylines taking place. And then from 7 back, JT roller coasters onto the situation. That hasn't happened since 1978, when John Mahaffey beat Tom Watson at Oakmont in a PGA, in a playoff. We haven't had a playoff since Keegan in 11. I mean, the media center, everybody outside, the crowd, it was a roller coaster. You did a fantastic job of summing that up.
Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. And I want to go back to Mito Pereira for a second.
Sure.
So this is a golfer that you don't hear of much over here in the States. You don't hear of him really in the hunt. In fact, and you might find this shocking, this was the literal first time I'd ever seen him on TV. And perhaps only the second time I've ever heard his name, so much so I had to ask you before the show, how do you say the guy's damn name? Mito Pereira was living a childhood dream of coming in as his first PGA victory in a major PGA Championship, holding a lead overnight, Saturday into Sunday, comes out and does exactly what I anticipated him doing, which was ticking off a few bogeys there and starting to come back to earth. But he held on strong. He had the heart of a lion there for a bit, and he was going to win. He comes up to 18, and he's up 1. JT's already in the clubhouse leader, which always confuses me whenever I read those headlines come across on Twitter or your news feed that JT's leading in the clubhouse. I'm like, well, he's not. He's a shot back. What are we talking about? But turns out Mito gets on 18, hits this little cut drive that apparently he has perfected over the years of some sort of safety shot. It looked like me when there's $100 on the line on 18 at the Labor Day Invitational at the club. A complete freak out. His swing, and you're right, it looked like he got electrocuted or that he just forgot what the mechanics of the golf swing were. He had this really weird cut thing, goes into the water, and now the trickle down effect is starting to happen. And it was one of those moments in golf that has happened to everybody, and I do mean everybody, sure. Even the great Tigre Woods has happened to. He blew it. And to his credit, he came off of 18, and every media request that came his way, he took. He stayed on property. I would quit the game. My boy stood there proud and said, yeah, it went bad. What am I going to do? I thought I had it. I didn't, and here we are. Your reaction to Mito's reaction himself to the meltdown on 18?
Well, I tell you, I mean, my reaction would be to golf. You know, it's just 2 thumbs down. There comes a time where your brain overtakes your body, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, that was a massive body flinch, Adam. You know, the guy was in the top 3 in the field in strokes gained off the tee all week. That was why he was in the position that he was, right? He was hitting fairways better than almost anyone in the field, certainly better than any of the leaders on top of the leaderboard over the course of 4 rounds. And that's what put him there. The guy's an extremely good ball striker. You know, he's won on the Korn Ferry Tour, and then, you know, he graduated last year, and now he's up on the major tour. I mean, the guy's a great player. He's from Chile, just an unbelievable ball striker, but pressure is real. And in golf, you know, there's no teammate. You know, it's like the free throw line in basketball with no time left. I mean, it's just you and your practice. And he wasn't prepared for the moment. He'll learn from that, and he'll come back, and he'll be okay. But I tell you, it was, you know, I was shocked because when he got up and down on 16, I was like, oh boy. I go, that's your championship right there. I said, you know, that was a really tough up and down on 16. And then he played 17. He's got a 1-shot lead going to 18. And he had been so good off the tee. I said, if anything, his putting is the most suspect part of his game. I said, he could hit the green in 2. And then like 2001 at the U.S. Open, he could 3-putt because 18 is so severe. But, whew, man, golf is tough. And the pressure in that moment. And at that point, there's only 2 guys on the golf course, and every fan that's there, tens of thousands of people. I mean, that's how they had a camera on his ball in the creek so quick. Every cameraman is on that hole. Everyone is watching, and it's a tough spot, you know. But I think he'll learn from it. I think he'll come back. He's too good of a player not to. Will he come back in a major? I don't know. But win a PGA Tour event, I think he certainly. I think on one Monday we'll definitely be talking about Mito Pereira again.
All right, let's go through a quick potpourri of topics. Number 1 is JT's ability to stay in the moment and stay in the tournament. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Reaction to JT just in reality was not even a factor until about an hour left in the day yesterday, and then all of a sudden, did he go up or did they come back to him?
You know, I got to give JT a thumbs up, right? And mainly because he has been unbelievable. He's got 8 top 10s on tour this year. You know, I think his worst finish is a T35. I mean, the guy always makes the cut. He's playing golf as good as anyone in the world. He strikes it great. He was a favorite coming into the week. He has to handle all of that pressure. Everyone criticizes his putting, yet he just maintains this cool confidence that, you know, I'm going to win again and I'm going to do something great. And you know what? He did. You know, he became the 10th son of a PGA professional to win the PGA Championship. And that's kind of a cool thing.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's
really
very cool. He's also the 9th when he won in 2017. So, you know, at the end of the day, I give JT all the credit in the world because people, you know, the media is very critical, Adam. I
Really?
newsflash. Yeah.
That is, hold on.
Yeah.
Late breaking news here at Speaking Out React.
And when you're standing there at the Shark Tank and they're answering all those questions on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whenever their press conference is, and the bullets are just flying at those guys standing at the podium, and they've got no one there with them. You have to handle a lot of tough questions, and he does that pretty well. I think he represents the game in a great way. So I love him being our major champion of the PGA of America, because for the next year we can promote a truly great guy and a great ambassador for the game.
You know what I and this is just shows my denseness, but I didn't realize until the last night that the dude's only won 2 majors. This is his second major.
Yeah.
And he's only won the PGA Championship. He hasn't won anything else, which I know sounds completely ridiculous to even say that he hasn't won anything else. But 2 majors, I thought, because we've been hearing his name forever as a champion, sure, as one of those top echelon golfers. I was shocked that I hadn't forgotten a U.S. Open or a some sort of major inside. I knew he hadn't won the Masters, but the other 3, I thought for certain he'd won 4. Maybe this was his 4th. So that was a shock. All right, next rapid fire question for you, and I use the term rapid fire loosely because that was a 4-minute bit. Right. The Will Zalatoris putter. What's with your boy Will, who, speaking of getting struck by lightning, every time he has a 3-footer, looks like me or any other hack in America, where the putter goes back and it almost stops and squiggles and is offline and off the face, and all of a sudden somehow he hits it. Your reaction to the putter storyline of Will Zalatoris over the weekend?
2 thumbs down. Now, Adam, remember when you were a kid and your mom or dad said, "Hey, young Adam, don't stare directly into the sun"?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, vividly.
Okay, all right.
Keith.
I was just looking for, it's called reacts. I was just looking for a reaction. Thanks, appreciate it. All right, glad
my
you're playing
apologies.
along.
Yes, I remember that vividly. That was a constant topic in my house.
That's my advice with Will Zalatoris' putting. Don't watch. Let's move on. 2 thumbs down.
Fair. All right, Tiger Woods withdraws. He comes out. He makes the cut. He was hobbling on Wednesday. He was near. Wasn't even moving by Saturday. The weather, Tiger's leg, his knee, what are we talking about here? Tiger also shot one of his worst rounds perhaps ever in a major. That's a fact. I have no idea if that's an actual stat or not. I'm sure you would have more backing on that than I would, but it was a pretty damn bad. Now, critics will say, and Tiger haters will say, "Oh yeah, he shot +9, so he's out." So he withdrew. He quit. But there was signs that he had come back a little too soon from the Masters to this event, and that he wasn't quite prepared physically, and his game did the same thing. Your reaction to Tiger withdrawing on Saturday?
So, we got a great Tiger storyline. Meh on Tiger, okay? We got a great Tiger storyline on Friday afternoon, and we should enjoy those moments. But it was very warm, Adam, okay? And he played in the afternoon. He has to come back first thing on Saturday morning. It's 30 degrees colder. And we just have to come to the conclusion that when it's cold like that, he can't play golf. And right now, he's just not healthy. I walked with him for 6 holes or 7 holes on Saturday morning. He can't move. I mean, he literally looks like that old man, on the first tee who can't move from the waist down. He's frozen and then just hucks at it with his arms. Literally I'm standing there 10 feet from the guy teeing off on 6 where he makes triple. And he didn't move his body. He doesn't put any weight on his right leg, and he just kind of wipes at it. And it gets that cold. It's really, really a tough spot. So for right now, unless that leg can come back and get stronger, he's probably only going to play the majors. And we need to keep our expectations very limited because he's just not healthy. And I give him all the credit in the world for coming out because it's important, but he's just not healthy.
You think he'll be at the U.S. Open?
Man, the U.S. Open's a tough walk. It's a very tough. I played Brookline or the country club there so many times, and it's a really tough walk. It's New England. It's hilly. A lot of steep slopes. I would say that a lot of things after what I saw on Saturday, we need better weather. Okay, so it needs to be warm, which it should be in June in Boston.
He wants to be at St. Andrews. So
St. Andrews for sure.
So he might lay off the U.S. Open, and we'll see him at St. Andrews, and that'll be his third event of the year. Which those aren't three terrible events to play in if you're gonna have a limited schedule. All right, the last one. I don't even know if this is worth mentioning anymore. But Phil, we did not react last week when Phil withdrew. Jack Nicklaus getting sued by Jack Nicklaus companies, which is the weirdest paradox of things I've ever seen in my life. You got Greg Norman, who's continuing to talk out in public, which if I were his publicist, I would say, can somebody put him into a closet and we'll let him know when this thing is dead or revived. Reaction just to the golf world outside of the PGA. There's a lot of things happening. Are you thumbs up, thumbs down, or meh on all the things that are the news of the golf world?
We have an unbelievable champion for our second major. It's the fourth time in a row that someone under 30 has won a men's major. The golf world couldn't be more popular, more positive, and have better storylines. So to all three of those that you just mentioned, I'm a huge thumbs down. I don't even need to react to them. I'm going to go catch a plane because this hotel I'm in is awful. All right. I learned a very valuable lesson this week, Adam. I'm going to share with you, right? I was sitting at dinner the other night with some very intelligent people from the PGA, and they asked me where I was staying, and I told them, and they said, well, do you go into your room from the outside or the inside? And I thought about it. I said, oh, the outside. They said, well, you're not staying in a hotel. You're staying at a motel. Well, let me tell you something.
Motel.
The Quality Inn of Tulsa, right, is not quality. So that's all I got. Yeah. 2 thumbs down for that. And I'm going to go grab some lunch and catch a plane. I got to get back to my family. It's great to see Adam. And, hey, JT, the 104th PGA Championship was just awesome. And I'm so happy to be there for the stick and hat community.
Thank you, Keith. Keith Stewart from ESPN Radio and Read the Line, and from PGA.com. Doing some great digital work there this week. Thank you for your reports as well as the reaction. Keith Stewart, always a pleasure. I'm Adam Grubb, Stick and Hack. You all keep well. We'll see you again, no doubt. Have a great day, everybody.